Welcome one and all to a setting of significance in the USL League One here in Knoxville, where tonight's match is brought to you by Markman's Diamond, Knoxville's hometown jeweler and fitting. It's in the volunteer state that this match offers what could fix to be a gem at the tabletop nestled in the foothills of the Great Smokies. It's one Knoxville SC and FC Naples, and for the home side, unbeaten on their home patch on the year, and you see exactly what is at stake as FC Naples comes in offering a stiff test here in Knoxville tonight. Both sides on the up and in great form over the last couple months as we exit the summer and get down to the pointy bit in the USL League One season for one Knoxville. A pair of matches last week against Richmond Kickers, long awaited the second of which as they head to Virginia to finish up the season series against Richmond. They split those affairs. Ian Fuller was not happy with the team's performance against Richmond in the second, shut out that 1-0 loss. Sievert Helgley did not participate in that game, though. He is back in the starting 11 and back at center back, where one Knox had been undefeated with him in that particular deployment. The big Norwegian back up amongst it at the back as he will set up in a back four for Ian Fuller today against FC Naples in the attack that has been so potent for FC Naples. You see that they have been in excellent shooting in the recent games and months as they have posted one of the best records in the league from June 28th on, unblemished in that time span in a league play over the course of 6 matches. Carson Henderlong has been banging them in for Matt Poland and his club, their first season in USL League One, in flying fashion that they approach the playoff push. For them, Luca Perpa has assumed much of the creative responsibility, with Jaden Onan not available for selection in that run of success for FC Naples. Over these last couple of games, he's had 3 goal contributions in the last 4 matches, but none in the last 2. He will hope to get back on the good footing against what has been one of the league's best defenses in one Knoxville on the year in unfriendly confines here on the road today. It is without saying that this one has serious imports in the USL League One. 2 teams that are vying for the home playoff positions at each other's throat on the other side of a break. From Knoxville, one Knoxville SC and FC Naples coming to you, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Blew my mind away.
It's not just a nationwide company that's trying to get your money and then jacking up your prices every other month.
$65 a month, every month, no questions asked.
It's so fast.
So my speeds have quadrupled, actually.
Believe me, you will see the difference.
If you can get KUB fiber in your neighborhood, get it.
10 out of 10, I would recommend it.
Back here in the Marble City, tonight's match is presented by Markman's Diamonds. Starting 11s coming to you. They are brought to you by KUB Fiber, the fastest internet in the world, and it is with expedience that these 11s crash to the fore for Ian Fuller. It is that signature 4-2-3-1. The Broadway Bullies have won Knoxville SC physicality in spades at the front end. Of course, always Babacar Dieng. He is a sharp tip of the spear. Mikael Goling has been in excellent form just behind him. Marnie Smith starts on the right today in that slight changing of the guard for One Knox. As for Matt Poland and FC Naples, the tried and true, the starting 11 has what has held for them. In 3 of the last 4 games, they've only made 1 alteration in that entire stretch, with Andres Farine exiting the starting 11 2 games ago against Texoma. Tried and true, as these two teams very much so sturdy in that same way. One Knoxville SC and FC Naples clash in the top 4 in the USL League One. It is a sunset picture for you here in the Volunteer State tonight. Once more, Peyton Gallagher, happy to be alongside. It's the sprawling green that will soon turn orange in this part of the country, at the foot of the Smoky Mountains. The home side in their home patch. One Knoxville SC and FC Naples, to the ascendant sides in the USL League One. Battle for all 3 points here today. As the ball skids out of play here at Covenant Health Park. FC Naples have been a bit of a road warrior in recent weeks. They've dropped 4 games on the road, but they've been able to harvest 3 wins and 3 draws. One Knox undefeated in their home venue. They were able to pick up an extra 3 points, technically at home against Richmond Kickers in a makeup game last week. But that game was played in Virginia after it was deemed that the field conditions were not suitable. 2 attempts at playing that game here at Covenant Health Park. Prior to that, it's another short week for the home side as this ball is entered into the back post and just goes gliding over the head of Rosamila. It's a goal kick for FC Naples. At the beginning of the year, as it actually will be deemed an offside by the center official today, John Mottel. But just in returning to the point of focus for FC Naples, a team that had been so stout defensively in the early part of their adventure in USL League One. Carson Henderlong getting a touch to it. It sticks up for a moment before being gathered by Sean Lewis. They had some defensive follies over the middle part of the summer, but a clean sheet last time out in a 0-0 draw against Forward Madison as a home side with a stiff task against a team that's finding their defensive focus again. And foul is given. It was Rosamila, or rather than actually Mikael Goling, that took the blow in the back and has won the free kick. Breck Evans called for the foul. He's only committed 6 all year. Maybe an early indication of precisely how physical this one figures to be. And the free kick belongs to Mikael Goling. An imposing 6'4", casting a long shadow beyond the reach of the ball. Lalo Delgado, the FC Naples captain, waits in his 6-yard box. It's a direct approach into the area, nodded away. Gathering is Stuart Ritchie. Off the foot of Henderlong. Delgado unable to gather the ball himself, and it's back for One Knox. Babacar Dieng. It's a frantic start to life here in this one as FC Naples usher away from danger. Some defensive cover provided by Julian Cisneros, who clears the lines, and One Knox will take it back up. Skying header from Jake Dangler, one of the league's best. He's been at the heart of all things good for FC Naples this year more than once, featuring in the USL Team of the Week. It falls to the feet of Kermarnie Smith. Smith awaiting reinforcement. He's got Jaheim Brown for company, who swirls in across. Chested down to Stuart Ritchie. Caputo. And retaining the ball, One Knoxville. Ritchie wriggling, and FC Naples finally able to put out the fire. Good exhibit of counter pressure from Jaheim Brown, but unable to keep it. A yanking back on Carson Henderlong will draw the whistle. Free kick taken quickly and sprayed into space. And rushing over to dampen things was Sievert Haugley. A player that, in the estimation of his manager Ian Fuller, is at his best with the game in front of him. We've seen him deployed as a defensive midfielder throughout the early portion of this year. He's transitioned back into that back line and given One Knoxville an extra little bit of quality in possession on the ball. Now for another throw. FC Naples trying to find their sea legs in this match. Julian Cisneros preparing the long throw. Test of the tall frame of Sievert Haugley, all 6'5" of him. An attempt at the second ball, a thought of a volley, and it's sent crashing towards the end line and out for a goal kick. So it is Sean Lewis who, earlier this season, in the prior meeting between these two games, was able to contribute once more after an early season injury. Kept him out of the lineup. The all-league first-teamer from last year, and another foul is given. Well, Knoxville were the first team in USL League One to defeat FC Naples after that red-hot start for the debutants. Sent skyward towards the corner. Obtained by Abel Caputo. And Ritchie. Flashed in behind, Dien's on the case, and it's a biteless effort from him as Delgado was scrambling back. The Naples backline claiming that Dien had an illegal advantage there with the offside, but not called. Bush's best replay here as Dien was scouting the attacking ends, and even though he was able to stay on side in the view of the referee, didn't do much with his effort. Andres Farine, first ever goal scorer for FC Naples earlier this year against another Tennessee side in Chattanooga Red Wolves. A penalty kick laid on to equalize. And a long goalless drought for Farine. Yet to score in the last 12 league matches for him. Cromartie Smith off the back heel to Gouling. It's an awkward height on the cross, but FC Naples do get rid. And Carson Henderlong trying to put his stamp on the ball. Ritchie fighting the sun. Haugley. Always so composed with the game at his feet, and away by Sean Lewis. Cerro and Cisneros. Cerro gets away from one, but not Jaheim Brown. Diving defensive effort pushes it out for once more another throw for FC Naples. The upshot of FC Naples is one of performance maybe above expectation. It is a smaller squad and not done much to add to it throughout the course of the year, but these players have been able to foster a real sense of chemistry and connectivity. Everybody knows what's expected of them and really feel at home in the shoes that they've been given by their manager, Matt Poland, to walk in. Both these managers at the helm in their first year with their respective clubs. Ian Fuller taking over for Mark McKeever, who led the project here in Knoxville for their first couple of years of professional existence. And another good look at Matt Poland's youngest manager in the USL League One. Rolled out of touch for another throw. There's Ian Fuller. Mentality is just oozing from his pores. A high expectation for competitiveness and focus that was not met against Richmond Kickers in the last outing for one Knox. At least in his own measurement. They have altered the stylistic approach much more against the ball this year. One of the most possession-crazed teams in the USL League One. And Mark McKeever took over and took them up to the professional ranks. And they've set a defensive foundation in 2025, but with each passing month have been a little bit more willing to put their foot on it, as they do here. Sean Lewis away. Skelton. Glasser went stabbing in for the tackle, failed to win it the first time, but does well enough here for throw-in to come for one Knox. Ritchie tossing back in. FC Naples will tailor their pressing approach based on the opponent. Much more up and at it here today on those backwards passes from the home side. Ritchie rushing by the first tackle and asking questions of Glasser. Ball into Dien. It fell kindly to his foot. Just could not get his boot around the finishing effort. And it's out for a goal kick, but the best chance of the game for either side. All done by the excellent work on the ball by Ritchie. The team's leader in crosses. It is a lovely delivery in that found the foot of a friendly face, being slashed over the target. Luca Perpa at the controls, and he's bashed through by the tackle. And it's with the outside of the boot that Jake Dangler has tested. Does pass on the first try. Now it's Angelo Kelly. Brown wide. Kermarny Smith. Hesitation. Space at the top of the area for Gouling, who took too much time in hatching his plan, something this coaching staff have been on him about. I feel like that's the next step to unlocking his game, is that ability to make a quick decision on the first or second touch. Feet failing him in that instance. 4 goals, 2 assists in this rookie campaign for Gouling as play is stopped. USL on the CBS Sports Network kicks off September with a League One battle. Playoff contender Spokane Velocity SC take on newcomer Westchester SC Sunday, September 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Spokane fighting for that #1 overall seed in their return to play after that excellent first campaign in which they reached the USL League One final, ultimately to be felled by Union Omaha. Westchester left 30 points on the table that they have forfeited from winning positions, the most ever in USL League One. So as they find themselves at the bottom of the barrel in USL League One, they'll be thinking to themselves that they're that close to putting the pieces together and really making a push for the playoffs in these final 6 or 7 games. It is a tasty one on the CBS Sports Network. Quarter hour gone. Not much to write home about. Over the top from Dangler. Delgado, something to deal with. He hasn't done so well, but somehow it looked like Julian Cisneros was going to keep it on, but it did just escape out over the line. Well, Knoxville forbidden from going as quickly as they would have liked. Fernando Pina, Marcus Barnett, the linesman today. Alexander Zelzyakov is the fourth official. Jaheim Brown. Angelo Kelly. Carson Hender along with his back to goal. It's a marvelous tackle from Jordan Skelton. One Knox. Once more with the scent. Ball in from Ritchie. A high header from Gouling. A crash and a bang, and what is awarded a free kick. Press engaged by one Knox, but it's a half-hearted effort. And renders space for Andres Farine, who goes early with the cross. Henderlong was racing, gave it the best effort he could, but Sean Lewis was always going to get there first. Andres Farine, that dynamism as he flashes down the flank. It was a long run for the goalkeeper, but he had plenty of head start. Sean Lewis, who had 7 clean sheets last year, has had 5 in 2025, but only has started 15 games. Anytime that you can see to it that you're not conceding in about a third of your starts, you're doing well as a number 1. Another foul is given. It's been exactly as you would have figured when you saw these two teams flash up on the marquee. It was Heckenberg who was called there. A pair of clubs that like it when it's gritty. Comfortable in the uncomfortable spaces. As it's Kelly who takes up the mantle. Advantage played. Deanne in the gap. Found a soft spot. Needed a touch more quality. But they will give a corner here. One Knox eye the target ahead of this corner kick. Corner kick is brought to you by Precision Concrete Solutions, proud member of the East Tennessee community, building together. And it is the home side, one Knoxville trying to build a lead early. One Knoxville imposing elements in the area. Up and down the team, you see plenty of players above 6 foot in height. One of them will take this corner in the form of Gouling. First corner of the match from either side. It's low and driven at the near post and does not offer much bite. Well, Knoxville continuing their squeeze of their opposition today. Held much more of the ball so far. Nearly double the total attempted passes of FC Naples to this point in the game. Crammed out of touch for a throw. Into Henderlong. FC Naples trying to find the sharpness after being shut out against Forward Madison in their last game, and they do win a free kick. Some less than friendly words from Andres Ferrain. John Montel has his work cut out for him tonight, the man with the whistle. Free kick coming for FC Naples. Already the 5th called foul in the first 20 minutes. Teasing ball into the area. One knocks more than up to it. Angelo Kelly can't breeze away from his own ends. Now Luca Purpa. And crowded out by Cromartie Smith, who apparently has won the throw for his side. Scrape for it in the center. And pressed all the way back into the custody of Lalo Delgado, who is able to pick it up despite some argument that there was a back pass there. If the referee had agreed with one Knoxville, would have been a indirect free kick. One of the real unicorns and sideshows in the sport. You hardly ever see them. Henderlong unable to make it stick. Carson Henderlong, who since the month of August has been on a torrent, one of the league's best. Last game against Foley Madison was his first without a goal contribution since the start of the month. And he has contributed a chance to really test the target, winning the free kick. Always overextended from Mikhail Guling. This will have the hairs on the back of the neck of Sean Lewis straight at attention. Spidey senses tingling here ahead of this free kick. Henderlong and company. Can any of them pull the sword from the stone? This is from deep distance. Mindful that this free kick comes on that infield cutout. So as the player who does strike the ball goes to plant, could prove an important detail. This is the right kind of space to hit one though. The referee wants to just straighten something out with the wall. There's plenty of space here though for whoever does take to get the ball to rise over that wall and then dip down in time enough to actually be on frame. Luca Purpa and Henderlong, the two that preside over top. Henderlong goes for it, wraps it around the wall and rips it onto the post. Do not think it was helped there by the goalkeeper. It was a devilish little effort to bend it around the barricade. First real chance of the match comes from the dead ball for FC Naples. Cisneros surrounded, does work it out well enough. Breck Evans. Onto it is Mark Torres, who stutters and has it just nudged away. Let's take a look at that again. All that beautiful bean footage, the Bush's best replay. And it was a jumping bean at that in that moment as it struck the woodwork off a skip. And will be the long throw for Julian Cisneros again. Effectively a corner. Missiled into the area, just hooked away. And Guling finalizes the clearance. Dien will give it a real chase, and for that effort will be rewarded as he wins it. Off the head of Guling. Cromartie Smith puts his name on it. And what could be a costly giveaway with no whistle. FC Naples trying to poise themselves for the break. Farine has lost it now. This is eyeball to eyeball in the Volunteer State. Henderlong. It's silky stuff from FC Naples. The early ball gets away from Ian Serrell. He was unable to hawk it down. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DNA, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Friday, September 5th, Phoenix Rising FC takes on Las Vegas Lights FC at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And Saturday, September 6th, it's Rhode Island FC that square off against Louisville City. A rehashing of that Eastern Conference playoff game from a year ago. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern. USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Inhabiting the central spaces, one Knoxville. Now they explore the wide side. Delgado had to show it some interest as he catches midair. Although Delgado has not had much to do so far. Well, Knoxville, when they've had the ball, just kind of menacingly hung out around the edge of the area without actually making much inquest into the box itself. Another foul given. Well, Knoxville are averaging the third most fouls per game in the league this year. Just a shade under 15 per contest, and they are well on their way. FC Naples certainly starting to find a foothold. Evans. Henderlong. Skillfully on to Serrell. A weaving, winding dribble from Torreas. Henderlong has shown too much of the ball to Gouling. And the throw-in comes for Ian Serrell. Serrell much more of a fixture in the attack in recent weeks with Jaden Onan out of the team. We're told Onan is close to being back after missing the last 6 games with injury. Angelo Kelly. Another foul is given. Julian Cisneros not quite happy with the call as you get another look at precisely why the referee made the decision they did. Over 25 minutes played so far. The ball has only actually been in play for just under 13 of them. Free kick to FC Naples. Searching for Andres Farine, never gets there. Suave stuff from Haugley, and now forward by Caputo. And looped in by Ritchie. Launched away by Jake Dangler. Well, Knoxville knew the threat. Heckenberg, he's meddling forward, and he's got running mates. Torreas. Early cross headed on. It was Henderlong who cut in front. He's guided toe though. Henderlong, not Heckenberg, the one starting that. And as he popped up off the pitch, almost did it as he so often does. So good he is at timing the run in transition. And just cut across the face of the center back. That perfect tempo. Nothing but a warning shot in the end. Gouling. Naples hunting in packs, but one Knoxville to evade the pressure. Cromartie Smith with a chop and a roulette. He's done too well. Cromartie Smith has not scored a goal as a professional in over 1,000 days. Maybe lost a little bit in the lights there. it's going to be a yellow card, a warning for Jaheim Brown. Wondered how long the referee would really allow it to go before pulling the ripcord and actually taking the first name. Trying to set the standard for his officiating. And Jaheim Brown will have to mind his P's and Q's on the booking for the rest of this one. Half an hour's come and gone here in the Marble City. Penderlock. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select told us the player's choice. Loose ball. Ownership belongs to one Knoxville. Ritchie. And escorted back to Sievert Haugley, who spins one ahead for Gouling, who takes the first touch brilliantly. Battered away from the back by Glasser. Now Jaheim Brown latching on. Flushed wide in for Gouling, who lets it run over to Camarney Smith. With a sole roll, gets busy on the flank. Caputo. Rosamila. And Haugley, comfortable in the attacking half. Caputo. Lovely little interchange from one Knoxville. Angelo Kelly is muscled off the ball by Farine. Ritchie's ball in. Took a hazardous hop up in front of Heckenberg. Able to touch it over the line for a corner kick as Angelo Kelly, enough doggedness to keep the play alive, and Ritchie, the league's most lethal in the crossing service. Always finds a way to place it at the most awkward height possible. It is a corner kick. It is a precision concrete corner kick. It's a well-shaped ball, just met by FC Naples. Dangler a mile high for the second clearance. Job done. Foul given. Well, it's not going to be for the faint of heart. In the estimation of Matt Pullins, one Knoxville in many ways. Beside that, if there is such a thing, mirrors them the most in USL League One stylistically. I think you can also see for yourself that that trickles down to the mentality the two teams play with. It is blue collar for both these sides. That is much more than just the actual colors of the clubs. Matt Pullen, a busy brain. The Bund manager who's acquitted himself so well this year. His team has maybe been one of the best in the league in providing solutions to problems. They've been malleable, they've been adaptable. Always have a certain kind of chutzpah, if you will, when they take the pitch. Heckenberg. Glasser. Slapped clear by one Knox. It belongs to Ritchie and Haugley. And reflecting wide is Rosamila. And you see the progress made in possession from one Knox, the one-touch stuff. It's what Ian Fuller has been building to this year, trying to be a little bit more dynamic with the ball, not just having it for the sake of having it, which felt like was the case at times last year under Mark McKeever. It certainly started to come good. The expectation set by Fuller in the technical area and every position down from there in this organization is to compete this season for a title. Nothing beneath that will be acceptable. Here's Hendra Long. Dashing defending done by Ritchie. It's lunged up ahead. This is Kermarnie Smith. He's got Tien for company and a whole bunch of white shirts. Backed off and smartly kept in play for Jaheim Brown. On the twist, Angelo Kelly and Skelton. Naples so organized behind the ball. Darted away by Heckenberg, who plays that role of park ranger in between the lines in this 4-1-4-1. And that Poland has chosen as his preferred formation and shape. That was the sense as Haugli does a tango with the ball and turns free. Heckenberg accepting the role, in the words of his manager, taking on that defensive responsibility. Will be put to the test here. Ball across the box. It got wrong side of Delgado and just fizzes harmlessly out of play, but the goalkeeper lost for words at the pace of the play. Kermarnie Smith able to sense out the underlapping run of Jaheim Brown, who put a spanking to the ball. The Jamaican who's shown brightly at fullback in his first season with one Knox. Might get another bite at the apple. Home side taking it up high. Quilting away in the area. Last ditch stuff at the back. FC Naples having to assume a bit of a siege mentality. One Knox turn up the temperature in their home venue. Still scoreless. A game that's offered plenty of verve so far. Is there a point of difference before halftime? Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more, the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Fans enjoying this venue. One Knoxville's first season playing in it. They've been posting some of the best attendances the USL League One has ever seen this year. Those fans raise their feet in anticipation of what will be a free kick from a dangerous area. Cisneros needs to be careful. Nothing overly committed in the tackle itself, but he's been called for a couple fouls now. Eventually the referee will have to book him for persistent infringement, just as the offenses start to stack up. Mikkel Guling, he's come from Copenhagen, and he's come to potentially ruin the day for FC Naples on this free kick. There's a stir, a kaleidoscope of bodies in the box. It was always overcooked though. Diane will chase it down. Glasser keeps his balance and keeps it out of play. Possessional split favors one Knoxville. They've held about 64% of it. FC Naples happy to sit in and absorb, and actually will be a throw-in for FC Naples. If there is a word to describe this Floridian outfit, it is efficiency. They've scored on the second highest percentage of their overall shots this year. They've not mustered many, but they have been lethal given the opportunities. One not presenting in this particular moment though. And after collecting the ball in the midfield, it's Angelo Kelly. That begins to prod and poke. Diane dropping the line. was a blind ball that was targeted towards Cromartie Smith that gives it back for FC Naples. Twist and turn from Henderlong, who plays with smoothness wide. Glasser joining the attack. A long run that goes a bridge too far, and with the fullback trying to outfox the opposition into the attack. FC Naples are a little bit short-handed defensively. Glasser does retreat in time enough. Caputo measures a pass wide that brings Jaheim Brown into the attacking fold. Skelton. Haugley getting in gear. Having to dive out to try and take that one off course was Andres Ferrain, as Ritchie was streaking in behind. Away by Dangler. Rainbowing in behind, rising for it is Dangler. He has won the most headed clearances in the USL League One this year. He wins another there. It is around this center back partnership that FC Naples have built the entire outfit. This play is resumed off the restart. Breck Evans, Jake Dangler. Evans has played every minute this season. Dangler is not far behind him. Strength of this Naples side is in their spine. Starting at the back with Lalo Delgado, their captain, and then the two center backs, Heckenberg, and of course Carson Henderlong, who looks to make a meaningful moment ahead of this Naples move. Imposing themselves in the final third, the Neapolitans. Ducking and diving run from Heckenberg. You rarely see him involve himself in the attacking efforts, but he does well there, and FC Naples flash one into the area. Lewis tries to let it run out beyond the reach of the goal. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass. Here's Dangler, the one who tried his hand on that particular effort, and a piece of the pitch has come up. This is a shared venue with the Tennessee Smokies. A hop, skip, and a jump. By any means necessary. Let's have a peek here in a moment at exactly what tore that piece of the pitch up. As for now, Knoxville, much more meaningful tasks at hand as they fail to keep the attack brewing, but do get it back. Ritchie, plenty of acreage out there. On the floor to Rosamila. Tight area work commences for One Knox. Ball across the bow. It was a real coming together as Angelo Kelly and Dangler came to grips. It's out for a corner and maybe a chance to revisit what took place on the other end. That clawed up that piece of the pitch. As we prepare for this Precision Concrete Solutions corner kick. FC Naples hoping that their opponent is not precise here. The footing is much better on this end. One Knox hoping to find some traction in more ways than one. Ball in. Did not clear the first obstacle and is thoroughly dealt with at the back. Roped along by Kelly, but nobody's there to pick it up. Final phases of this half of play here. Both sides shut out in their last games. Neither side has found that critical edge here in this one. With a chest down, lands with a thud, and in the possession of Rosamila, and Brown and Rosamila again. Up and away from Skelton. Kelly lifting one for Jaheim Brown, who settles well. And just nicked away by Breck Evans, but once more it's one Knoxville. Increasingly have their tails up here at the end of this first frame. Richie, sweet feet from him. Richie's cross, a moonshot. Brown and Dien. Got just enough a sight of goal to maybe raise the heart rate for Lalo Delgado. But it's once more a squirrely finish. Dien did a nice job to take it off the thigh and touch it up to himself. FC Naples in defense doing just narrowly enough to cloud the picture. Waiting on that board to go up. There have been a lot of fouls, a lot of pauses in play. See what the abacus shows in terms of what should be allotted for stoppage time. Neither side technically have put a shot on target in 5 total efforts. If we do want to get technical about things, 1 minute of stoppage time is the word. That shot that hit the post doesn't count as a shot on target. The actual bookkeeping as, well, it hit the outside of the target. We do the rest. Trying to make use of this last 60 seconds. The visitors, FC Naples. Glasser's cross. Has that helped out of play? That's the question. Looked like it may have taken a glance, but no, just a well overhit ball. Tension-packed first half. Draws its final breaths as the ball is sent spiraling by Sean Lewis. Word is foul. It is a free kick. Well, Knoxville given every reason to push their resources forward as we will move past what was given as the point of expiration. FC Naples likely not allowed much autonomy for a counterattack. Mikel Gouling hopes to be the spark. It is a testing ball. Sent towering, and it takes us to the break. So it sits scoreless. A knockdown dragout in Knoxville. And after 45 minutes, neither side has been able to put themselves in the driver's seat in this pivotal clash. The top 4 seeds in the USL League One. We've got plenty of good things coming to you at halftime as the curtain falls on the first act here in the 8-6-5. It is a gritty, shin stuck out type of game that's unfolded through the first half of action in this one. FC Naples and 1 Knoxville. They've been 2 of the league's best, and that has been on exhibit today. No distance between the two. More coming up here at the break.
Gig speed internet from the big guys, gig speed internet from KUB Fiber. What's the difference? Ours is truly gig speed. Do a speed check and see if you're getting what you pay for. Then make the switch to KUB Fiber. Gig speed internet from the big guys, gig speed internet from KUB Fiber. What's the difference? Ours is truly gig speed. Do a speed check and see if you're getting what you pay for. Then make the switch to KUB Fiber.
That is some sight. The Smokies in all their splendor. Such a beautiful time of year in the Volunteer States. At the half here in Knoxville. And the youth movement is the buzz of the town in the USL League One. Both these squads certainly in the midst of what could be called a renaissance developmentally. Both groups with very young rosters and key contributors up and down the lineups under the age of 25. And in the USL League One and the entire USL infrastructure, the youth development scene has become a central point. A look at the USL Academy projects from around the divisions coming to you now.
No one said it would be easy, but the USL Academy to professional pathway is blazing a successful trail. More than 10 players on USL rosters are Academy products with professional contracts. A big deal and a big decision. Why? The pathway includes options. For many prospects, that's college soccer. Finn Sundstrom plays for North Carolina FC on an academy contract. He now has valuable pro experience, but remains an amateur player. A different path has played out in Phoenix. 17-year-old Jamison Ping, the Phoenix Rising Academy member since age 12, was signed to a professional contract. This is now his career. Andy Chapman from Phoenix Rising FC joins us now. And Andy, Jamison Ping is very special to you because you've seen his process really from beginning to its current state. So what is it like to see something come to fruition through the academy process?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely been exciting for seeing someone be given the opportunity, someone that's been on the fields with them for the last 5 years. I've gone through the whole process.
This entire landscape, big picture, coaches that are in your shoes on other clubs, all of you guys kind of in the same boat making this work?
Yeah, Liz, I think USL have got a unique opportunity, and I think everyone's kind of using it to their advantage here. We should really push your players from a youth standpoint into that pro environment, and it's definitely a step up, but it's not for everybody. It's an endless opportunity for us to continue to grow.
USL clubs use their academies. Nearly 100 players have achieved academy contracts, opening doors for youth players to achieve their dreams of turning professional.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
We don't stop chanting, we don't stop drumming,
yelling and screaming and chanting.
We'll follow them wherever, pretty much. That's just the love that we have for our team.
Strikes with the right and opens the scoring. A dream start for the home side. Wow, what a strike from Westchester, and it's Prince Sadie.
my mind away.
It's not just a nationwide company that's trying to get your money and then jacking up your prices every other month.
$65 a month, every month, no questions asked.
It's so fast.
So my speeds have quadrupled, actually.
Believe me, you will see the difference.
If you can get KUB fiber in your neighborhood, get it.
10 out of 10, I would recommend it.
Hard at work, trying to make sure that surface is playable in the second half here in Knoxville, where it is scoreless. At the break, Realty Executives halftime report coming up, and starting off with the news and notes cascading into a big moment in Oregon. It's been long talked about, the club that's been building in Eugene, as they have finally announced the final principal points in their club's rollout with branding that, if I might so offer an opinion, is quite sharp. Of course, we have been keeping you abreast of all things happening at the academy level in the USL League One and USL Championship and the developments there. All the good things happening with Richmond. One Knoxville felt the brunt of that. And Greenville triumph, up the umph is the word. Rick Wright and his group making waves in the Jägermeister Cup, getting to the semifinal of that competition. As for what's going on at this up-and-coming point of the season where everything starts to count a little bit more, as we make our way past the month of August, it's scoreless between Texoma and Forward Madison. Madison trying to get back into the playoff picture after a rough start to the year. Texoma trying to make it back-to-back wins on the road in short order. There, if they can get a result at the site of the place, they gain their first ever point as a club against Forward Madison. Much more coming up on Saturday as we look at the upcoming schedules for the two clubs, and that is a massive tilt. That happens at the end of the month for One Knox. They host Spokane. A big chance for One Knoxville to maybe enter themselves with a win today, winning that one into the conversation for the top seed. Chattanooga Red Wolves are setting the pace. A Smoky Mountain smackdown at the top of the table could offer a lot of intrigue. As for what we know is to come for FC Naples, it will first be against Westchester at home to end the month of August before taking on Greenville Triumph in their friendly confines down there in Naples. Then a couple of away dates at Charlotte Independence and Portland Hearts of Pine, which has been a very difficult place to go and get all 3 points. And then AV Alta at home, team that really embarrassed Naples on the road a couple months ago. Played a much closer game a couple weeks ago. They will get them at home to round up the month of September. When we come back, second half action unfolding here in the Volunteer State. It is scoreless in Knoxville. One Knox and FC Naples. More coming up after a break.
Fiber internet from the big guys, fiber internet from KUB. What's the difference? No fine print. Get true gig speed internet for just $65 a month. No contracts, no slowdowns, no disclaimers. KUB Fiber. Fiber internet from the big guys, fiber internet from KUB. What's the difference? No fine print. Get true gig speed internet for just $65 a month. No contracts, no slowdowns, no disclaimers. KUB Fiber.
Spotlight shining here on the big stage in Knoxville. It is without separation that one Knoxville SC and FC Naples find themselves approaching the second half. Here's what happened in the first half. Not much to show you here. One Knoxville SC Naples. It was combative, it was eye to eye, and it was filled with fouls. Mikhail Guling called there. It rendered an opportunity for Carson Henderlong to nearly sneak one in. Took a wild skip up in front of the goalkeeper, Sean Lewis, at the mercy of the bounce, but it carries harmlessly onto the woodwork and away. Then later on, nearly a half-hour played at this point. Once more, Carson Henderlong igniting the counterattack to Reyes, shaping a ball brilliantly in, and Henderlong just caught it on the way up as he sliced in front of the face of the defender as he rainbowed that one over the target. Just a passing glance, but FC Naples, the author of the best opportunity in the first half, and the tail of that tape, the stats from the first half, and there were 7 total shots, none on target. That really is the story. One Knoxville have had the more meaningful share of possession. They've had it in and around the crucial areas. When they've gotten to the box, they've broken down, and to that point, it will be a curiosity if Ian Fuller does or does not change any of the personnel on the field as we start up in the second half. It looks like the side in blue will remain unchanged, at least at the start of this next 45 minutes of play. FC Naples have not used all 5 of their substitutions much during this good run of form. They've had their trusted few, and they have done the job. Matt Poland's at the controls and in a real game of chess with one of the equal-minded managers in this league, Ian Fuller, 2 of the brightest and best, a league that has in many ways been defined by the managerial contrast and quality this year. As those folks wait breathlessly for what is an all-important second half. 3 points that will feel like 6. You see Ian Fuller up amongst his men, leading from the front in the huddle, trying to find what he needs to see in the eyes of his 11 chosen. The blue colors, the Neapolitans of FC Naples, take to the field and once more ready to engage between the 4 lines. That is a man that has a good head on his shoulders and a good head of hair as well. A sprawling evening in the USL League One, one of 2 midweek matches on full display. This Wednesday night, we certainly love to take the time to appreciate you being with us this evening. It does appear that our manager has chosen to make alterations to break up what was at times a monotonous first half. And the clock winds once more. It is Peyton Gallagher with you this evening. As FC Naples and One Knoxville seated respectively, I should say. 3 and 4 in the table. Only a handful of matches left as these last flickers of the month of August, a busy month for both clubs, come to their close, and pause and play again. Balkar Dien, the one that was up amongst it. Only the one player booked in that first half, that being Jaheim Brown. I imagine the referee, John Montel, will be a little bit more liberal in dispensing those cautions for any Meshuggah from either of these 2 teams. A steadying first touch from Cromartie Smith. A vibrant dancer out in the wide spaces now. Sent down the line, back in for Cromartie Smith, and it runs away from him. Jaheim Brown and Smith have been the biggest conduits for electricity in the attack. Many moments for One Knoxville. Stuart Ritchie as well, providing that width out at the touchline. Still, though, not really much for Babacar Diagne to really sink his teeth into. It's a scouting ball off the chest of Henderlong. Second ball is not won by Serral, and it's Angelo Kelly with runway. In rhythm, Kermarny Smith plows in across. Knotted away by Glasser. Max Glasser back in the starting 11 today, as he often has these last couple of games. Gone from the opening bell. A free ball. Caputo has a go and creams it, maybe 6 inches tall. Lalo Delgado had no thoughts in mind about that. Shot out of a cannon from 23 yards or so. Delgado was already yelling at defenders before the ball had even sailed clear. The amount of space and time Caputo was allowed to meet that with. Jabbed away, one Knoxville able to reclaim the ball. Haugley, wide for Jaheim Brown. Kermarny Smith watches it tower over his head, and Gouling unable to give it much of a fight in his pursuit. And Knoxville still scrapping to try and win it back. And do. Kelly, you do have to wonder at some point if one of these high winnings of possession for one Knoxville might be the way they cash in, but on this occasion, it's been too wily to be tamed by Kermarny Smith, and it's back in play for Breck Evans. Diagne linking the play, Gouling. Ritchie arriving in the second wave. Overhead attempt, it's still there, and sent a mile high. It was absolutely not for lack of trying. Jaheim Brown, the one who ultimately ushered over the target, and as Bush's baked beans replay crashes into the memory, you see precisely how close both realistically Kelly and Gouling were there in that moment for what could have been a highlight for one Knoxville. Pumped off the head of Sievert Haugley. He throws in a shoulder, and with no immediate advantage, it will be a free kick for FC Naples. Knoxville unbeaten at home this year, and they will see much more of this venue in the closing stretch. Had to wait a little bit for this newly constructed ground to become operational for them, and that will end up being a helpful hand in the backstretch of their schedule, as they will have 7 more home matches after today in their final 11 games. Henderlong rolls one across. Cerro just missing out. Henderlong has looked dangerous, as he so often does. Looking for the Batman to his Robin so far. Robin to his Batman, I think that's actually how it goes, yes. Tunneled along, Heckenberg. Unable to gain purchase there. There's an overlapping Cisneros who remained up after the long throw. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, you can hear live matches in USL, MLS, now the Premier League back in action. All that and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. John Montel getting his money's worth tonight. Referee keeping things in check, and not much question as to whether or not this was going to be a foul. wasn't a harrowing amount of contact, but because that initial blow took the player off balance, was always going to get the whistle, and smartly won by the attacker, as this is a very dangerous free kick right here. A dangerous man that will have a quiver full of arrows at his disposal. Stuart Ritchie, team's leader in chances created entering today with 23, the fullback. Preparing to give this a real whack, try and bestow the lead to his side. Ball in. Delgado's hemmed in. And it glides over his head. Was it given a touch? An area fingertip, and it's a goal kick. Let's roll that bean footage. Bush's best replay. And it is a nearly moment for one Knoxville on a night full of them. Farine, you do have to ask yourself, when do either of these managers maybe look into their dugout? What could be the answer? See if there's a player to bring on that could liven things up. One Knoxville, you'll be looking at one player in particular maybe to do that. Kempis Tequila back in the team. That is a footnote in the moment though. Rosamila, a step behind it. Heroic defending from Dangler, and time to turn for Henderlong, who's pulled back. That is a clear yellow card for stopping the attack. It's Caputo who's booked. Henderlong doing what he does, back to goal. Carving out the leverage as he turned himself free, and not really wanting to roll the dice with Henderlong at full gate was Caputo. Probably a wise choice. Skip off the head. Farine might have a chance here. Ball across the box. First time save. Half volley from Torres. Never causes many problems. Cerro chasing it down. He has a throw in. So there's Sean Lewis. Probably needed to intervene on the trajectory of that one as it came dangerously across the frame. Anytime the ball gets all the way across the 6-yard box, really asking for trouble. He puts a paw to it and makes what likely will be scored his first save of the match. A useful first touch from Cerro, who widens the play. Henderlong able to conjure anything magical there though. Gets away from Angelo Kelly. Perpa. Rosamila. And sniffing out the through ball is Farine. James Thomas is being prepared. Player that was part of the initial group in this One Knoxville project. Just getting back from injury, started against Richmond. He'll come off the bench for the impact here. Glasser's cross is blotted out by Ritchie. Doing his defensive duty there and maybe opening the window for that change. So here is James Thomas. Completed his first full 90 since July 14th in the last contest. And Jaheim Brown will be the one who makes the spot for him. Ian Fuller will have well in mind the fact that Brown was sitting on a yellow card. So here comes James Thomas. Played into the game. Catapults into the area. Second ball, hammered towards goal by Torres. Really gave that the full ride though. That was the flick on header. Anytime there is some scraps to maybe feast on in the box, FC Naples had a real penchant, being the one that wins the war of will. Well, Knoxville acquitting themselves quite well there. Driving, attacking ideas from Carmarnie Smith, who gets cut down. This is danger. It's only going to be the yellow card. Cisneros went in a little bit recklessly there, and you see he looks a little bit shell-shocked. Happy to escape. See if the studs were up. They were. They just didn't catch flesh. Thrusting in for the tackle as he was thoroughly beaten by Cromartie Smith, who's playing one of his better games this year for One Knoxville. He wins the free kick. And the threat looms large, both proverbially and literally, for One Knox. It's been said ad nauseum tonight. It is worth saying again. You just look up and down the lineup. Sievert Haugley, 6'5", Jordan Skelton, 6'4", Mikko Goling, 6'4", Babacar Dieng, 6 foot tall. This is staring down the barrel for FC Naples. A testing of resolve as it's ushered in and ushered out. A second entry from Caputo. Too tall for Goling. Now it's Richie's turn. An early ball towards the end line. Rosamila able to keep it on. Still Rosamila, uncontested, carving in a cross. Always tough for the goalkeeper when it bounces that close. Doing well, Lolo Delgado. Rosamila turned past that first tackle. Nobody came to close him down. That was certainly a cross that became a shot. Lolo Delgado, even though the catch wasn't clean, able to mind the store. An hour just about come and gone. Both sides starting to draw a little bit closer to what they desire in this game. FC Naples been more of a passenger in this one. Here's Cromartie Smith and Goling waiting. Heckenberg puts a damper on things. And well won by Torres. And now it's Ian Cerro. A bounding bundle of hair as he's pushed to the pitch, and with no whistle coming, it'll be a throw-in, I should say, for One Knoxville. One Knox drawing closer, controlling more. Hooked away by Evans. Henderlong doesn't get the look in. Away by Kelly. And it lands in the custody of Goling. Gouling's cross to the near post. Required action out of Dangler. How much more of this can FC Naples really endure? That being said, similar status to the first half. One Knox, for all of this pressure, yet to really have a moment in which they could have burst the pipe. Still yet to put a single shot on target despite 7 total efforts. Not too dissimilar to the 20-plus shot showing that they had against Richmond last game, in which they also failed to find a goal. Richie and Kelly, and goal kick. That possession total has stayed firmly above 60%. All game, those fans have had plenty of moments in which they stood from their seats, but nothing that has really got them up and celebrating in the embrace of one another. The Scruffs, they call them, aptly named. Support group that has been so much so behind this club. It was the buzz of the city when they were in that first season in USL League Two, selling out all the local high school stadiums. They have just been going up and up since. That's neat and tidy on the ball. Not so enough. And now Dieng. There could be space on the counter here. Rosamila, the one riding sidecar to Cromartie Smith, who cuts in, carves in across. It is acrobatic defensively from Dangler. Goling now, and Richie arriving on the scene, stows the ball away. Thomas taking wide. Kermarny Smith. Didn't have the angle quite correct as Thomas was providing the overlap. FC Naples, though, just can't get out of their own end right now. It's a giveaway. Farine in a battle with Richie. He's caught one in the face. Richie didn't even have to make contact to draw the attention of the official. A lot of the time when the boot gets that high, play will be stopped no matter what. And with Farine hitching to a pause, Richie's at least going to get a talking to here. Farine did stick his nose straight in the fan by ducking down to try and win the ball. So Richie will be able to avoid getting booked there, as both teams on a handful of substitutions through the final checklist. More on that here in a moment, as those newcomers must wait and watch on. The game they enter could be very different than what they look at right now if FC Naples find that bright idea. It's Gio Calixto and Stavros Zeracostas that are being readied right now. Knuckle applied by Sean Lewis. Second ball. Nobody was onside. And those changes set to be introduced. A couple from FC Naples coming shortly as well. Day done. Both wingers. Stavros Zeracostas has been one of the key providers in this team this year. He has 5 assists on the campaign, leading the team in box touches. The Greek wide man pumped into the contest at hand, as well as Gio Calixto. For the 13th time, will be in the fray for one Knoxville in the league. Day is done for Ian Cerro. It's Kevin O'Connor and Ian Garrett, who are provided by Matt Poland for alterations. Ian Garrett has played more in the last 3 games prior to this one than in any 3-game stretch in the league this year. He gets another important nearly half hour to help Naples prove a point on the road, maybe in fact all 3. Farine in the center. O'Connor, his first touch gets away from him. And it's Kevin O'Connor that saw the ball get away. And there's trouble afoot. Zeracostas swiveling and swerving. Some cries for a handball by both teams. The word is goal kick. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. So a confirmation of all the changes made. Saw a quartet of them here only moments ago. One of them looking to change the equation immediately, Kevin O'Connor. Farine, it lands with a thud, and it needed much more feathery and delicate touch. It was Ian Garrett who lost the handle on that one. Best attacking flash, though, from Andres Farine in the game. FC Naples, only 194 shots for them. Their total accounting on the year, which is the lowest tallies in the league. In fact, it is the lowest, averaging only 9.7 shots per game, which also is the bottom barrel figure. Brock Evans, just a poke, and no foul given. This is a little bit of a wiggly one at the back, but swept up. Gouling, his impact has been lessened throughout the course of the game. Had a pretty vibrant start. Not seen much of him since. Of course, again, it is Kempis Tequila, who's just rejoined the team from injury. Leading goal scorer from a year ago. He is the difference maker you'd be looking at on the Knoxville bench for the X Factor potentially. He scored the decisive penalty in the last meeting between these two clubs down in Florida. Played against Richmond at the weekend. Kempis Tequila, it was his first game back since July 5th. Chased down by Skelton, and the all-leaguer from last year wins the ball clean. Too much heat to be controlled by Zero Costas, but it's a one Knoxville throw. And you see both benches virtually empty at this point, so you can assume everything but the kitchen sink being readied by both managers at this stage. Knoxville has made 3 changes. FC Naples have made 2. Vereen gobbles it up. It's not the easiest bounce to judge for Delgado. It's still available. A snatching tackle. FC Naples can't keep it. They committed some numbers there to try and gain it on the counter. They may be cut out. Comes barreling free, and Lalo Delgado is grateful to take it in tow. Angelo Kelly. Instead of him, it's Torres who takes over and smartly spots a man making a run upstream. Ian Garrett, just late as Skelton was able to be the shepherd dog. Henry Long will have a kick for fun. That might be delay of game, which would be an automatic yellow card. The referee reached for it and then thought better. Anytime a player kicks the ball away after the whistle, it's supposed to be an automatic caution. Anyone knew nothing of that. Maybe thought play was still live. At least that's the argument he will have made. Fewer fouls in this half, but one called there. Just wonder when the match might break out of its stupor. It's a free kick for Richie. Tuning his instrument. Ian Fuller. He's wearing his anxiety on his face. Scraped away. Second ball's there. No, it's not. Angelo Kelly went early with it and has pushed it over the end line. USL Championship and League One are on the CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com, USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Since sloping, Off the back head of Angelo Kelly. It's another high kick. Well, Knoxville may have wanted to play that out. They certainly want to take the free kick quicker than they've been allowed. The center official is well worth the words that he's giving to those players on the field who do not agree with his particular decision-making trait. A kiting ball that with a knock-on is helped out of touch again. Now Lalo Delgado's unhappy about something. School back in session out at the ballpark. Youngsters enjoying the game. It's popped up like a weed in this part of the country. Knoxville has taken to it like a duck to water. Kelly. Out of play, and just talking about how the sport has grown. FC Naples trying to do similar things to what Knoxville has done, and immediately engaging the community and public around the team. There is something to be said for the fan culture in this hallowed home of the University of Tennessee. I believe there was a man went by the name of John Ward who said something about it being football time in Tennessee, and all evidence suggests that that is certainly the case as the sport continues its uptick in the South and in Knoxville. Free kick to come for FC Naples. Can they conjure anything? They have been without industry or imagination in this half. A lot of thankless running done by Carson Henderlong. Fortunately, takes one single look at goal for him. At the back post, Angler has gained an illegal advantage. At least one of the runners did. Not sure who was called for offside, but that appears to be the ruling. Very clever little movement from Farine to drop back, alter the play, but I think what the word was is that because he started offside and maybe affected the overall decision-making of the defender, that offside must be given there. The linesman on that side had a clear eye viewed on that particular half of the field. Torres coordinating another attack. It gets beneath the studs of Carson Henderlong. His grip on the game is loosened this second 45. And it is with a couple more changes that one Knoxville will exhaust the reserve. It is Kempis Tequila, a name they so know well. A name that they know so well. That is how the English actually works. Regardless, Kempis Tequila is in the contest now. And it is with his quality that he hopes to open the whole thing up. Mikel Gulling is the one who offers up the spot. There's also Callum Johnson, who's been a mainstay at the base of that midfield this year. He replaces Caputo, who was booked earlier, and Kempis Tequila is not wasting any time. Nudged into the area, Dienne, it's free! And it scampers away. Kempis Tequila brings his side forward and instantaneously will Knoxville offer one of their most hair-raising moments of the contest so far. Tequila deferring, bringing into the game the overlapper. Dienne gets just that little bit of a toe poke at the near posts to keep it in play. There's a goal kick, but Knoxville trying to at least sprinkle some magic dust on the attacking area. Skelton with long strides out of the back. Now Zaracostas. Campus Tequila and Zaracostas had formed a really good partnership in attack on the back end of last year and into this one when Tequila has been on the field. Zaracostas was that midseason addition for One Knoxville last year. Really taken off. Of course, One Knox has also been without one of their best attacking wide players for much of the year in Mark Doyle, who with only 9 games played was able to contribute 3 goals and 2 assists in the league. Kelly, a guiding header into Tequila, who was able to take the sting out of the ball with his first touch. It's plucked away from him. Farine could not shift into 5th gear fast enough. We're into the final 15 minutes now. Still scoreless. One Knoxville have only conceded 5 goals in this venue all year long. FC Naples have not looked like adding a 6th this entire second half. Ritchie unable to play through Tien on the 1-2. But a handball is given. Still not a single shot on target to this point. Useful first touch into Tequila, who sprays high and gets it back. Kempis Tequila with imagination and inquest into the center. Calixtro moving wide. Zaracostas over the head of Diane. Took a risky little touch off Glasser. Delgado keeps his wits. And a crushing blow. A yellow card to Stavros Zaracostas. That is his 8th yellow of the season as he trampled through the back of the FC Naples player. Only 6 touches in the box so far for FC Naples to 17 from One Knoxville. And Zaracostas was not content to allow Naples to try and add to that tally without at least paying some sort of pound of flesh price. And with that foul, his name is added to the booking list for One Knox. One Knoxville had been able to vacate the 2 other players who had seen yellow cards from the game. That being Gene Brown and Bel Caputo. Zaracostas will sit on the booking the rest of the way these 10 minutes and stoppage time. Glasser, a cheeky little back heel flick from O'Connor and swept away before being a corner. Throw in for FC Naples. One Knoxville digging all the trenches. Sent across goal. Henry Long just missing out. Still fighting for the second ball. It's Henry Long back to goal. Torres fought off by Tequila and hammered home. It's O'Connor, but the referee has nullified the goal. FC Naples snake bitten in the box. Kevin O'Connor was able to provide that piercing blast at the doorstep. But somewhere in the fray, a foul was called. And if it's hard to really picture where it came from, thought maybe for a moment that Dangler was called for the foul, but he certainly made no contact with anybody. It's possible there was an offside in the process as well. FC Naples will feel a bruise from that one, though. Certainly felt like they had taken the lead. They leave it in the rear view. Henry Long off a ricochet. And it was ultimately his cross with no help that got out over the touchline. Things starting to wake up right when they needed to. FC Naples likely would be happy to take a point here on the road. On Knoxville, with how well they had been playing entering today, I would imagine would be discontent only taking 1 point from these 2 games between the weekend and now. And their next one is on Saturday against Spokane Velocity, which will be no little feat, and a foul has been given at the edge of the area. Naples have saved some gas for the end. Henry Long was just thrown aside by Sievert Haugli. So now it's Knoxville's turn to take a couple on the chin. Nightfall in Knoxville, and it's Kevin O'Connor trying to engineer the late show. Kevin O'Connor has splashed one onto the bar. Nearly the shot heard round the league. That had so much bend and swerve and bite, but now it's one Knoxville trying to ignite their own attack. Kempis Tequila, a pinball, Tequila off the head. Late to it's Callum Johnson. This is much more like it. Trading blows in the 12th round, one Knox and FC Naples. A pursuable ball for Kelly, who wins a corner with that effort. Kevin O'Connor, it's that close. You do not hit the ball better than this. Sean Lewis at the mercy. If it's a square post, maybe it bounces down and in. And contact at the top of that play. Advantage there for one Knoxville, so no free kick. They do have a corner now. Just winning at the last moment was Breck Evans. It was Haugli who had popped up to try and meet it. It's a throw-in for one Knox. That corner kick was brought to you by Precision Concrete, and it's with poise. One Knox must conduct themselves now. They have yet to really find the precision needed, as they've yet to put a shot on target to this point in the game. Maybe now for Diem. With a big gasp of air, it's a goal kick for FC Naples. In the final 10 minutes, it's all come popping off, finally meeting the boil. Dien, who hardly has had his name said in this second half. Just needed that touch, a little more accuracy. It's been the real thesis of this game for him. Although Delgado will milk every second. Ritchie. First time pass from Angelo Kelly is gobbled up by Heckenberg. He's put himself in a corner here. Able to twist free, and he wins a foul. Callum Johnson feeling like that might be a little bit over strict of a reading of the rules. So maybe, after all, there is a winner in this. Both sides creating real chances. And the final turn. It's a photo finish here in Tennessee. FC Naples trying to spot the free man. Henry Long offers the backboard. One Knoxville picking up the pieces. It's out for a throw. Matt Poland will usher in one final change. It looks like Justin Weiss, rather that's actually Dominic Bockstein, I should say. Justin Weiss, previously the holder of that number, for retiring earlier this season. Bockstein just joining up with the club, and he will be introduced into the game here at the next opportunity. O'Connor down in zone 14. Lost his footing. Tequila The cavalry is charging for one Knoxville. Kempis Tequila is undercut. It's a yellow card. Breck Evans comes up with a wobble there. He's played every minute for Matt Pullen and FC Naples. And he will soldier on, having stopped what was looking like it could be an alarm bell moment for FC Naples as one Knoxville are moving into the attack. Here is Dominic Bockstein. Bockstein freshly joining the club as Andres Farine is the one pulled out of the game. Is there a moment of magic in which Bockstein can maybe introduce himself in the best of terms to this young Naples supporting base? Bockstein's professional debut coming in a pressure-packed moment. Possession is claimed by FC Naples. There's a spare man on the wide side. It's Julian Cisneros. And he runs into a wall. Second ball comes. Lashed back, Kempis Tequila taking down. Some nifty footwork. And with no ability for O'Connor to create a chance, it's brought back after advantage. It met its conclusion. It's a free kick. It's a yellow card. There's Heckenberg, who was clattered. And at the 90th minute, it is a prime choice free kick for the visitors, FC Naples. Nobody has won in this venue. There will be 3 minutes of stoppage time for the roadside to change that narrative. I wonder what's going through the head of Dominic Bockstein, who again is making his debut at this level for this club. As we get the official word on the stoppage time, it will be 4 minutes. And that clock will not start running until play starts. So all these seconds that are draining away will not count towards that tally. This is something that FC Naples certainly drill. They dedicate a lot of time to rehearsing free kicks and making sure that they are giving themselves the best possible chance to give themselves an edge in this phase of play. Interesting choice with Jake Dangler, who often is on the receiving end of these. Scored league high headed goals last year. He delivers towards goal. And it lands middle chest for Sean Lewis, who's interfered with trying to run it out. It's a free kick. So it's Dangler's effort that does not try the goalkeeper much, and he just runs straight into O'Connor. Kelly. And it runs away from Thomas. Matt Pullen watching all of his ships. FC Naples trying to sail into the sunset and head back home with all 3 points. They'd be happy with one. They'd be elated with all 3. Scoping ball in behind. Spilled out over the end line for a corner. And the klaxon sounds at the witching hour. A Precision Concrete Solutions corner kick. Is there a solution for one Knoxville? In swing, the corner flies, it's flashed away. Kelly, nothing more than a questioning ball. And Tequila. Hardly anything left in it. Dodged away at the back. It looked like it was Breck Evans who stepped in. He's come up again with a hobble. Kelly. Ritchie. And it's an ill-fated cross as Carson Henderlong was the one tracking. Nil-nil was the score for FC Naples in the last game against Forward Madison. It looks awfully like it will be a twin to that one here tonight. Those folks are trying to power their side on. Right at the precipice of that playoff push. Shared points, although useful in the lofty heights that these teams inhabiting the table, likely not going to take them where they want to go, and that is potentially toward the 1 seed. Naples might have one last word. Torres and wide and worked into the area, and nobody's there at the back post. That very well could be it. Haugley under duress, and Lewis chased by Bachstein. Tequila, gotta go. Bobbled out of touch for a throw. Thomas to take. Referee glances toward the watch. Kelly will not get a chance. They will have to shake on a share. Scoreless into the good night. Here in the 8-6-5 as one Knoxville and FC Naples play to a scoreless draw on the evening. Disappointment on the face of FC Naples and Max Glasser, man of the match tonight. Is Jordan Skelton, the captain, his side? Keep the clean sheet, as FC Naples would be more than happy if you told them at the start of this trip up to the north that they would be getting a point, as they will head home for a match against Westchester SC their next time out. It is maybe a preview of things to come, the level of intensity that these teams will offer in the postseason. Anything in this league is hard to guarantee, but at their current pace and trajectory, you would suspect they will be in the mix at the end. They may see each other again down the line as we make our way toward October and November. There's much to pick through on the other side of a break. Post-game coverage coming up. Final score, it's Goose Eggs and a point shared between one Knoxville SC and FC Naples on this evening in Tennessee.
The change in speed was amazing.
$65 a month, every month.
It's so fast. Believe me, you will see the difference.
I've told them when it comes, you better get it quick.
The change in speed was amazing.
$65 a month, every month.
It's so fast. Believe me, you will see the difference.
I've told them when it comes, you better get it quick.
Another look at your man of the match. It's Jordan Skelton, the captain, presented by Peaceful Side Brewery's Club Light, brewed in the peaceful side of the Smoky Mountains. And it is kept peaceful. In goal for One Knoxville as they secure the clean sheet in large part because of the defensive stoicness of their defender. And it was FC Naples that were asking all the good questions in the first half. Carson Henderlong sends one sailing over the target as he arrived late on the counterattack, doing what he does best, just picking that right moment to hit the gas. He misses his opportunity to maybe be the hero today. So scoreless to the first half, scoreless to this point, 81st minute, back across the frame. And it was a disallowed goal in this moment as the ball got away, thinking that the overall ruling was that yank back on Kempis Tequila from Torres. That was given as the foul. You see him just kind of pull back at the jersey. Tequila losing the handle on the ball before Kevin O'Connor can finish. Only 2 minutes later, Kevin O'Connor nearly got his lick back as he puts one onto the bar. It makes a loud sound, but nothing more. And then only 2 minutes after that, it all was happening so fast there at the end. Kempis Tequila knocking one down. Across comes Babacar Diagne. Needed much more of an accurate finish in that moment as it lands squarely on his forehead and is beamed over the frame. And so it goes. That was the Bush's best play of the game on a night where no play was made that put the sides in any position beyond 0-0. An important game here in Knoxville. And a look at the statistical picture presented by Smart Bank. Only one shot on target. Yeah, that's the story of the night. No goals in a game in which two teams traded defensive blows for the whole duration of the 90 minutes that passed here this evening. And we move on to what is to come in games to play as this one goes without much incident here in the state of Tennessee. For our entire cast and crew, it's a mighty thank you from me, Peyton Geller. It was a wonderful time to be here for this one that finishes 0-0, a playoff preview for One Knoxville and FC Naples as they continue their climb potentially towards an impending matchup in days to come as they vie for a USL League One trophy. That'll do. Folks, we will talk to you soon. The USL League One season continues.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.